Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. The Wall Street Journal just published an explosive story about Donald Trump and the late child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Now, we have known they were friends for years, hence the photo you're looking at. We have exhaustively documented on this very program their long relationship, including the footage you are seeing of the two men dancing and leering at women at Mar-a-Lago. We know that one of Epstein's late accusers, Virginia Giuffre, says she was recruited into Epstein's circle at Mar-a-Lago when she was a teenager. And of course, Donald Trump went on the record with New York Magazine in 2002 to talk about how much Epstein likes to date young women. Quote, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy." Trump booms from a speakerphone. "He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side." But tonight, the Wall Street Journal says it has newly discovered textual evidence of the friendship between Trump and Epstein and the kinds of interests they shared in Donald Trump's own words. According to the Journal, Epstein's disgraced associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, put together a leather-bound book of letters from Epstein's associates to give the disgraced financier for his 50th birthday back in 2003. Now, to be clear, this is before he is first arrested for molesting and abusing girls in 2006. The Journal says these documents were among those examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago, according to people who have reviewed them. Now, to be clear, NBC News has not reviewed the documents in question. I'm quoting here from the Wall Street Journal's reporting. Here's the description. The letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy, like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. Adding, quote, "It isn't clear how the letter with Trump's signature was prepared. Inside the outline of the naked woman was a typewritten note styled as an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein, written in the third person." I'll read it to you here. Voiceover. "There must be more to life than having everything," the note began. Donald. "Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is." Jeffrey. "Nor will I, since I also know what it is." Donald. "We have certain things in common, Jeffrey." Jeffrey. "Yes, we do, come to think of it." Donald. "Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that?" Jeffrey. "As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you." Trump. "A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." The paper also notes, quote, "In an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. 'This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story,' he said. 'I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women,' he said. 'It's not my language. It's not my words.' He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article. 'I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else,' he said. Now, to be clear, it is not known if these letters, this letter in particular and the collection in the bound book, are part of the Trump administration's recent review of Epstein documents. The Department of Justice didn't respond to the Wall Street Journal for comment. The FBI declined to comment. Brandy Zadrozny is a senior reporter for MSNBC, where she covers conspiracy theories, the far right, and the internet. She joins me now. Holy God, Brandy, what is your reaction to this?
So my first reaction was, I have read a lot of weird things on the internet, and a lot of, I've read through Q drops and all the QAnon lore, and some of the stuff that they picked up from the WikiLeaks documents were like innocuous emails about, getting lunch, or, let's go to a pizza place, or, really, really just random things that conspiracy theorists took and just pulled apart and created a whole sort of separate world and created like a whole nother language to fit their conspiracy theory into. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and this letter, frankly, it's weird. I don't know how else to put it. This play is just very, very strange. And so my first reaction was the conspiracy theorists are going to eat this alive. This is going to be catnip to them. And I think that might be true. I think that that's true. Because again, like I think the MAGA fight against pedophilia as their like number one pet project that guides them all, I think will overcome even Trump's denials. But I will say, I have been reaching out to folks in the MAGA media world, and they've all told me weirdly the exact same thing. And they're really towing Trump's line. They're saying this is a nothing burger. They're saying that doesn't sound like Trump. I believe him. So it seems like that's what's going to be the narrative from the right, is that that's not him. You know, Trump's writing plays now. No, not to be. But I think in the next day or two, and I'm going to be watching, we're going to see something else. This is just too good and too strange for the conspiracy folks not to jump on it.
Yeah, and to be clear, like I'm already seeing right-wing MAGA people, you know, towing the Trump line that it's a hoax, that it's fabricated. I mean, we should be clear here. We have not independently assessed this. One thing I will say, just to context, everyone should understand. The President of the United States sues people for lots of money all the time. Okay. If you publish this, you know he's likely to sue you. People should just consider the amount of thought that went into whether they were going to publish this on behalf of the Wall Street Journal, given the context we have seen of him going after entity and explicitly threatening them in their interview that he's going to sue when they're assessing the you know, how believable this is or how rock solid their reporting is. That's not going to matter to the conspiracy theorists, but it matters to me as someone who's trying to get to the truth.
Yeah, famous tabloid rag, the Wall Street Journal, right? Famous, you know, anti-Trump newspaper, the Wall Street Journal. I have a lot of faith in my colleagues at the Wall Street Journal, so I tend to believe them. That doesn't mean again, that MAGA world will. I can't help it because I keep reading it because it's just one of the strangest things I've ever seen. And I think people in our journalism circles are all sort of guessing at where the sourcing for this will lie. It is really interesting that they didn't they didn't publish the actual letter that appeared in the leather-bound book. Yeah. Now, again, just sort of talking now, wonder why they didn't do that. Is that because, you know, that might have ended up on a lawsuit some way? Does that open them up to lawsuits somehow? Is it like a case of in the Atlantic article around Signalgate, they didn't release the things at first, we got the denial, and then we get the letter in the end. I just think if this thing exists, you know, knowing what we know, the truth is likely to come out. And the letter is likely to come out.
Yeah, I agree. I had the exact same questions. Their characterization, they reviewed it, which suggests it's possible they don't have it in their possession by which to capture it for publication. It's just a possibility. I don't know. They said they reviewed it, right? So they saw it. But yes, I agree that that's part of it. But I just got to say, like, again, I agree that it is such catnip for conspiracy theorists, but like them aside and just reading it in the context of what is known and established about Jeffrey Epstein. Like, what is not conspiratorial? This is a man who trafficked girls for sex and abused them. Convicted, you know, charged multiple times, got a sweetheart plea deal, multiple testimony of his victims, right? That Donald Trump and him were close and buddies and ran around together. And as seen here, like, leered at women. And Donald Trump said he likes women as much as I do. They're on the younger side. Take all that context and read that note. And what it feels like is that they share some secret that they both know about each other, that is a secret that has to do with sex, hence the drawing of the naked woman, and is the thing that kind of is the one thing that you have if you have everything. That's the meaning of what I can deduce from it.
I think as a former English teacher, that's a careful reading of context clues, I would say. Great job. Yeah, there's no other way to really take this. It's a very strange letter. It's obviously about women. I think that when you get to the end, and the dramatic reading was very, very good. Thank you for doing that. But when you get to the end, the question is, what is the secret that they share? And I think there's a conclusion that any normal person, not a conspiracy theorist, would come to. And I think it opens up a lot of questions. And I think it totally supercharges the idea of release the Epstein files. I think that a lot more people are going to be calling for that now.